G'day everyone, how's it going? We're on our day trip from Kuala Lumpur to the Cameron Highlands, and you're probably thinking, where's the tea plantations? Because we're not quite there yet, to the very, very top, but here's some of the forest around here, and we've randomly stopped. Seems to be a thing up here, so they've got these Hobbiton villages, and this is a new one for our driver. Wasn't a scheduled stop at all, but I'll quickly tell you about our trip here. So we're on a private tour. It's just Nicole and I, and I'll give you the details, and I'm going to do a little separate video as well. And we found this tour company. It's a taxi service but private. Our car is a brand new, virtually brand new car back over here, white kind of SUV thing. And our driver is Mr. Zali, but the principal of the business is Mr. Zaidi, and he's very, very busy a lot of the time taking people around, but they do stuff all over, from a simple airport transfer from KLIA into the city or back, to tours all over Peninsular Malay. And I can tell you, value-wise, now if you go on TripAdvisor or Viator, which is actually a TripAdvisor company anyway, that's why all their tours look the same, you'll see the prices for group tours, private tours, but you can't beat this. Honestly, we're just doing private tours with these guys. It was such a good find while we were here. So, going up to the Cameron Highlands, this trip is 700 ringgit for a full day, and it's about 3.5 hours to get to the, I guess, where the tea plantations. There's a lot in Cameron Highlands that we're going to do. So, ticket booth over here, there's some toilets, so a lot of people are just stopping here anyway and having a look at these little villages, this little village here. Again, we'd found another one. I guess we'll go there as well. So, for whatever reason, Cameron Highlands, these little Hobbiton, there's like 3 or 4 of them here. But yeah, I'll give you the details of these private tours, and it's going to depend on your numbers. Now, where the SUV is like a 7-seater, but absolutely fantastic prices, great service, great communication with this company. But yeah, 700 ringgit for the full day, and it's 3.5 hours each way, plus the time we got there. So we could be here for 10 or 11 hours. So 700 ringgit, okay, is about 250 Australian dollars, or about 150 US. And we've done other little side tours out of KL as well. 8 hours up to Fraser's Hill, Bukit Fraser, to do some birding, and that was 450 ringgit. So 160 Australian dollars or 100 US or thereabouts. So fantastic company, great communication. We'll give you all the details, and we'll show you what we're going to see here in the Cameron Highlands. You can tell this is brand new. Looking forward to getting up there, checking out these tea plantations. Very, very pretty up here in the mountains outside of Ipoh in Malaysia. So I will catch you very, very soon at another destination. So we finally got up to where more of the classic Cameron Highlands that you see in the tourist brochures or online looks like, the tea plantations, as you would have seen from some of the video that was just before that. And we left at 6 AM this morning, and you really want to leave KL at that hour. There's already a lot of people. Clearly there's people that stay up here and spend the weekend. It is Saturday. As tourists, if you're here during a weekday, try getting up here at the weekday. You don't want to be here school holidays. It is Saturday. Definitely going to get more of a KL crowd that's coming up here. Self-drive up here, well, the roads are get very, very narrow, very, very bumpy. They're not well kept. They're basically been built by the tea plantations, not the government, so they don't get maintained very well. But we're going to wind up here, and I don't know if you can see that from this distance, how many people are already going up this hill. And they get tourist buses, and they get roadblocks as cars are trying to squeeze past tourist buses. So quite interesting. But now we're in the really pretty part. There was some really, really funky stuff that you drove through that was kind of almost reminded me of driving through some sort of villages in Nepal or somewhere. But it wasn't quite what we were expecting, but this certainly is. You can see how pretty it is up here now. So going up there looks like a very modern building at the top here. So we'll go check it out, and we'll show you a bit more when we get to the top. Okay, so it's gone just after 11:15 a.m. and I'm going to show you the lineups on a Saturday at the Bow Tea Centre here. I guess there's a number of places you can go to. Nicole chose this one, but heaven knows what it's going to be like in an hour or so trying to line up. I've read Google reviews of people having to line up for an hour or more just to get something to eat, but I'll give you a bit of an idea. So there's two sections here where you can go that way, and here we go. Let alone the line up to the bathroom, especially at the ladies, of course. Shouldn't say of course, but as you know, guys, they can stand up to do number ones. And there you go. That's the line up there at 11:15. And then to get into the other part, the other section of the cafe where you can order tea and scones and food. Excuse me, I'll just get through here. Bathrooms are that way. And that's the line up to get in there. Yeah. Busy, busy, busy on a Saturday, as I said. If you can get up here during the week, maybe choose a weekday instead of the weekends. We were kind of okay. We waited about 20 minutes, I guess, to get something to eat, but that was lining up at, well, 10:30 instead. Lovely place though. Bow Tea Centre, just one of the places you can come and enjoy some local tea and the magnificent views here when you get to the tea plantation part of the Cameron Highlands. So I just wanted to mention that you can tour the tea factory here. Tours run every 30 minutes. It's actually back behind me and in front of me. There's the tea store there. We did hear the tour wasn't fantastic, so depends how much you want to learn about tea, but there is the tours there. As far as I know, it's free to go into. And I just wanted to mention another thing about this being on a private tour with your driver. It's flexibility. So we have the flexibility. We want to go to the tour? No, don't want to go to the tour. Want to go to the tour? Yes, go to the tour. You want to stay here at the tea centre for an hour? Stay for an hour. 20 minutes is enough? Let's go. Move on to something else. Now, this taxi company, as I said, they're not like a cab. This taxi service, they can just do the itinerary which most tourists will use to come up here. Go to the strawberry factory, the lavender farm, all that sort of thing. You can just set and forget and do it that way. But if you're like us, what Nicole did was just did her research online, the things she wanted to see in this area, and just set the agenda that way. And even then, we pick the times, how long we want to stay at a place, etc, etc. So flexibility is a major part of being able to do these tours privately, and honestly, again, they're not much more expensive than a group tour, and certainly from my research with this company, and again I'll put the links in, that the prices are cheaper than what you're going to find, or I found on TripAdvisor, Viator, any of those ones that you can find. So anyway, that was the Bow Tea Centre. Worthwhile coming up, beautiful views. There's one of the cafes again, and I think we're going to go off next to a place called the Mossy Forest, which looks really, really beautiful. So I think that's our next stop. So I'll see you there. Bye. Okay, so continuing our time up here in the Cameron Highlands, and this is one of the spots that Nicole found. Another treacherous road. You wouldn't want to come up here in the wet season unless you had a four-wheel drive. I think it'd be very, very interesting. Lots of narrow roads and stuff. And it's the Mossy Forest. So there's plenty of people here. So we'll just do a toddle around, no kind of voiceover, and show you what the Mossy Forest here looks like. Also, if we come down here, even though it's a little bit hazy today, they got some pretty big valley views from this point here as well. So let's go and check out the Mossy Forest. So we've just come to our last stop on the way back from the Cameron Highlands at this lovely waterfall area. You can actually walk up these steps and go further. They're really tiered waterfalls that go quite a ways up. And if you can see that on the GoPro. But in summary, we had a couple more stops on the way down. Briefly stopped at a market, then went had a look out over another tea plantation, and the building in the towns on the way up and the way back down is a tale of two cities. On the way up it was kind of like that weird, almost like Nepal style. You thought you were in a different country going up, and they were kind of like more old. On the way down was more typical that we'd expect from the Cameron Highlands, more kind of English Tudor style, because they really were the ones that first explored and built in that area in the Cameron Highlands. So very interesting contrast of going through the towns up to the Bow Tea Centre, and this, by the way, there's two Bow Tea Centres. One of them's more popular, so do your research, but most places are going to go to the Bow Tea Centre that we went to. And on the way down, yeah, very, very different contrast. And there's a bunch of towns going down, plenty of places to stay. You've got golf courses. It's very, very interesting. So yeah, last stop at the waterfall here, and trip to Cameron Highlands from KL, you're going to be looking with 4 or 5 stops, a couple of major ones, about 12 hours and in the total trip. So 12 hours from start to finish. So we left at 6. I expect we will be back home around 6 p.m. tonight. So factor that in. It is a pretty full day to get up here, but still very interesting after our 17 times in Kuala Lumpur. Nice to get out of town every now and again and see some of the countryside. Fascinating. Again, the tea plantations. I mean, you've got jungle and waterfall. A lot of contrasting environment here, as well as far as the natural side of it as well. So thanks for watching, and if you have a chance, you got a spare day, head out to the Cameron Highlands. Bye for now.